Do you love working with the law of attraction and genuinely enjoy manifesting? But the one thing that trips you up that you find tends to come up time and time again is a feeling of worrying and a sense of insecurity. Is the universe really supporting you? Is the universe even hearing any of your requests? And if so, how long is it going to take? What's going to happen next? Does all of that uncertainty make you feel super impatient? And chances are you probably do know how to manifest very effectively. But when you get to a certain point, like for example, you've manifested a golden job opportunity, but then you have to wait to hear what the outcome's going to be, or maybe you've met someone amazing and then the fear of, okay, where is this relationship going to go next? What happens if they suddenly don't want to be with me anymore? All of those doubts start creeping in. Well, it's okay, it's perfectly normal, and I'm going to be giving you the steps to know exactly what to do in those situations and how to maneuver it so that you can trust the universe and you will know and be able to spot all the little signs that the universe is guiding you and is constantly supporting you. And that all of those manifestations, the overall outcomes that you're wanting, are making their way steadily towards you. If you don't know me and you're new to this channel, then welcome. My name is Holly. I am the founder of Think Tranquility, which is a personal growth and spiritual company dedicated to helping you manifest the life you dream of and deserve. So don't forget to click subscribe and join the channel below so that you can keep up to date with all of my latest videos and check in with all of the stuff that I cover regarding the law of attraction. I cover everything from using affirmations to boost your income, to increasing love and romance in your life, and even controversial topics such as using anger to manifest. But in today's video, the 5 practices that I'm going to be sharing with you, I began to use way back in 2017. And this was a point in my life where I was at a crossroads. I was leaving my husband. I had asked him to move out of our marital home. I was going to sell up. It was all in my name, the house. And I decided to leave my job in London. I was a business development manager, and I decided I was going to switch career paths and begin studying NLP, hypnotherapy, and coaching. I was going to relocate completely from London to Dorset, which is where I live now, and buy this property which I'm now sitting in. And I'd manifested this place, pure and simple. I'd put it out there for a long time that I wanted a home by the sea. And I just wanted a brand new way of life, a whole new chapter. And cut a long story short, I actually moved in and completed on this property on the same day as my ex-husband now, his birthday. And a lot of people would have said, oh, that's just coincidence, Holly. But it actually wasn't. It was my wink, as I like to call it, from the universe, giving me the green light that actually, you know what? Despite all the heartache and the uncertainty and the horrible phase that I went through during that time in successfully moving here and changing my life completely in all different aspects, it was actually a new chapter that was beginning that was fun and exciting. And my ex-husband, he was going his way too. He was, starting a whole new year without me in his life, and it was all good. But the transition phase, as I mentioned a while ago, when you're embarking on something brand new and you are manifesting and you are getting really positive signs, that can be just as scary when you're starting to experience those shifts. It can be just as frightening to be in that sort of space of, okay, things are changing, things are happening, but I'm not quite there yet. I don't know what's going to happen next. And what if it all turns to nothing? And that was a time for me where so much could have gone wrong. I was leaving a very good job, I was selling up, I was leaving my friends and family, I was moving somewhere where I didn't really know that many people. And all I had to go on was the intuition that I was feeling. And these practices that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to go through one by one, is what really kept me sane, if I'm honest. And I wouldn't have got to where I am now without them, and I still use them as frequently as possible whenever I begin to feel scared or I start fretting about what the future might hold. So these processes are going to really help you in being able to relax, trust, and go with the flow. If you're anything like me, then you know exactly what it feels like to want to be in the driver's seat, want to throw yourself into action, and want to know what's happening tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. But sometimes, unfortunately, we do just have to trust and let go. And even people who don't study the law of attraction, they understand that. They understand that concept of sometimes just letting things be, and those famous expressions like que sera sera, or what will be. That's where it comes from, because we don't know everything and we can't have everything in our control all of the time. But when you learn how to let go just a little bit, you'll find that you actually have more power and not less. So I'm going to get straight into it. The first practice that you can start applying today is, if you have a really strong desire, like I manifested my house by the beach. I knew exactly what that looked like, and I actually, for evidence to show you that what I'm saying is true, I created a vision board like this with pictures. This is actually the original pictures of what my new home looked like. And I wrote a list saying my new home in Dorset is, and I wrote a list of all the things that I wanted my new home to be. And you have to remember as well that at that point I was in a really dark place, because I just asked my husband to leave. He was living down the road. He kept popping back in every now and then to say, oh, I've forgotten this or I've forgotten that, and he was trying to get back with me. But I was so clear on my intention of what it was that I wanted. So whatever your circumstances are now, when you are very clear and specific about what you want, that will help you to kind of mentally and emotionally step out of whatever it is that you're currently experiencing. And the more you go there and the more detail that you add like this, where you write what I call a shopping list, pretty much a shopping list, like as if you're going to the store and you need milk, you need sugar, whatever. That's how you write it. You write it just like that, with pictures, so that it's something for you to be able to look at and fixate on a regular basis. That will help you. So no matter how bad your circumstances are right now, or however you might occasionally start feeling depressed or worried or anxious, create something like this and it will help you. But, and this is the key to the first practice, is when you do this, I wrote at the bottom here, and I won't show you because it's quite a lot of writing and it's quite small, the font, but I'll read it out to you what I put at the end. This or something better now manifests for me in perfectly loving and harmonious ways for all concerned. Now, there's two very powerful reasons why I wrote that. This or something better now manifests for me is basically giving the universe the opportunity to go all out. Remember, when you are putting an intention out there, you're only going by what you know and what you think is possible for you. Whereas the universe, 9 times out of 10, has a better plan, has a better route, and has thought of details that you might not have even considered because of your own limiting beliefs. And that's not a judgment on you. It's just, where we are in life, what we've had go on in our past. There's certain details and aspects that we might not have even considered we're capable of achieving, or we're capable of manifesting, or whatever. So by giving the universe space you are inviting in so many different creative possibilities, and that's what we want, right? We want the best of the best. We don't want mediocre breadcrumbs. We want the best of what there is out there for us, that is on offer for us to receive. The second part to that sentence, in perfectly loving and harmonious ways for all concerned, means that your intention is pure. You don't wish any ill will on anyone. There's no revenge involved. No one is going to be hard done by as a result of your manifestation coming into being. So guilt, shame, all of that sort of stuff, it's not relevant, because you know that your manifestation is going to be a win-win for everybody that it affects, and all the people involved, God, the universe, is going to use to work through to bring about your manifestation in a way that is really good for both you and them. Okay, so that's the first practice. Very important. Add details, and remember, give the universe permission to bring in anything that is potentially even better than what you believe right now that you want, even with the details included. Okay. The second is, when you write the list and you put it down on paper, not only is it affirming even more powerfully what it is that you want, but it's very important whether you're saying affirmations or whether you're writing down details of what it is that you're wanting. Present tense is a must. Why? Because if you are saying, for example, I don't know, I am going to be rich one day. Let's say, random example, I'm going to be rich one day. It's always going to be in the future. Whereas if you were to switch that to something like, I am constantly making money every day and my income is continuously increasing, that has a whole different vibe and energy to it. Can you feel the difference? Just take a moment right now, and whatever it is that you're desiring and you're waiting on manifesting, say out loud in the present tense what that is, and make it transitional. So it's becoming, it's not going to happen next week, next month, next year, in 10 years. It is happening, it is unfolding. Just take a minute now and say it out loud. Play with the words until you find something that is super powerful, that really, really resonates. It can be, if it's love, it can be, I am now attracting my dream partner towards me, or the love of my life is now being attracted towards me easily and effortlessly. Play with the words. In this case, it was, my new home is whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I could have changed that. And I think I did actually have an affirmation that was along the lines of, I am now finding my new home. And then when I did find my new home, I played with that affirmation and switched it to, I am moving into my new home soon. Because there was a lot of waiting involved, right? There was so much waiting involved, and I've got better over the years, but I will be honest, I am a little bit of a control freak when it comes to making sure that everything is just right and I know what's happening, and I can be impatient. So if you have moved ever and bought and sold property, you know that it can take up to several months. And yeah, several months. For me, I think it was about, I did it in just 8 months. Just under 8 months, I managed to get in here and move and have that entire transition from London. But yeah, when there's so many people who are in charge, like mortgage brokers and mortgage lenders, solicitors, and buyers and sellers, other people in the chain, you never know what's going to happen, and it makes you feel so vulnerable. So having an affirmation and having a list, having something that's in the present tense, is something that you can constantly use to hook into, to think, no, everything is happening, it's underway, it's coming to be, and this is unfolding, and it helps you to mentally and emotionally step into that energy and help not only your mind but also your body release those chemicals, because remember, the mind doesn't know the difference between reality or imagination. So the more you're vibrating on that frequency by using linguistics and using your own inner dialogue to switch up that kind of what could potentially be a real emotional rut, you're getting out ahead of it and you're helping yourself to be more aligned all the time, constantly on a daily basis. And this does take practice. That's why I'm calling them 5 practices, okay? The third practice is signs. You can ask for a sign from the universe at any point you wish. My sign up until recently was always a pink camellia, and I've decided to change that for reasons I'm not going to go into now. But I said to the universe, whenever I see a pink camellia, I will know that I'm on the right path, and I know that that is kind of like your wink, your signal to say, yeah, proceed. So you can choose a sign. It can be anything. It can be a number. It can be a song. It can be even a fragrance. It can be literally anything that you want it to be that is personal to you. And every time you see it, you will know, or hear it, or smell it. You will know that that is the universe directly communicating with you to say, yeah, you're on the right path here. Now, just a little warning about this particular practice is it can be something that you might easily find yourself obsessing over, where you're actively looking for the sign. The sign will come to you. You don't need to look for it. You don't need to have your eyes peeled or be constantly switching the radio station thinking, oh, I want to hear that song. No, it will come to you. And when it comes to you, it will be like someone coming over and waving at you in your face. It's not something that you need to search for. So again, this is about trusting, and this is about allowing the universe to do her thing on your behalf. If you don't see signs, if perhaps say you're in a situation right now where you're not quite sure what to do and you've got a big decision to make, and it is causing you a lot of worry, and you're thinking, okay, well, how do I just let go and stop worrying and trust the universe? A lack of a sign can also be a sign in itself. I hope that makes sense. So let's say, I don't know, like my situation, did I leave my husband or didn't I leave my husband? I knew the signs were pretty clear to me in the end that it was time to call a day on that marriage. And the signs were just inevitably clear to me. When I tried to stay in the relationship, however, it was hard work, it was exhausting, it was draining. We were arguing very frequently, and there were no signs there that I was putting out to say to the universe, look, give me some guidance here, give me a signal, please. There was nothing. So if you are not seeing that particular sign show up for you, then maybe looking at other options is something that you would want to consider. I hope that makes sense. But again, any questions, please let me know in the comments below. If you're not sure of anything that I'm describing in this video, then all you have to do is ask, or you can always send me an email directly at holly@thinktranquility.com. Number 4 is focus on the outcome. Now, I might have already touched upon this when I showed you my own personal vision board and my list. Focusing on the outcome really helps you to get into that state emotionally, vibrationally, and mentally. And this is backed by science as well, in terms of the chemicals that are released in our brain and also the reticular activating system. So if you think about a time when perhaps you've been wanting a new car and you suddenly start seeing that particular car everywhere. Or even a more simple example is if when you're really hungry, yeah, suddenly all around you everyone is eating and all you can smell is food. Our senses get heightened when we give our mind certain information that says this is what I want. Like I said, the mind doesn't know the difference between reality or imagination. So when you give your mind that instruction of, okay, this is the kind of relationship I want, this is the kind of house I want, this is the sort of job I want, this is the amount of money I want in my bank account, the mind is like the most advanced computer on planet Earth. Yeah, it will actively search for the information and the missing links in terms of figuring it out and finding a solution for you. So that's known as the reticular activating system. And I don't want to bore you with neuroscience, but it is real and it works. So the more you visualize, the more you step into that reality exactly how you want it to be, the more your mind will start to actively scan and seek out solutions and signs and just different kind of pathways, ways forward for you to think, oh yeah, there's an idea, or oh my gosh, why didn't I see that before? Or and the universe actively supports that and will work with you. So this again is all about helping you on a daily basis to really feel that trust and live and breathe it, so that you know not only are you on the right path and not only are you able to kind of take control in your own way, especially when there's other people involved, like my situation where there's lots of different people making different decisions and moving at their own pace, and you're thinking, okay, I'm in the dark, I don't know what's happening here. It just gives you that sense of contentment and control to think, I know what's happening and I'm aligning and I'm waiting and I know the universe is taking care of things on my behalf. The best analogy I actually heard once in regards to the whole waiting for the universe and being patient and trusting and letting go is, it's a bit like, you know, when you're at a theatre show and you can see the curtains rustling just before the lights go down. So you know stuff's happening, you know the stage is being prepped and people are kind of, you know, getting everything in position. And any minute the lights are going to go down, the curtains are going to go up, and the show will start. That's exactly what this is like. You are visualizing, you're manifesting. Your only job is to relax and enjoy your dream, your manifestation, yeah, your vision, and to really be there. So, like in my case, I would sit and I would imagine myself in my new living room, in this living room that I'm sitting in right now. And I would imagine, you know, my parents coming over, my friends coming over for dinner, and being able to like just lounge about and watch the TV and have my music on really loud and just do all sorts of different things, like walking to the beach and then walking back up to my front door and putting my key in and play about with the details, play about with it until it feels so exciting that it's somewhere that you go to, not because you're constantly trying to make it happen, but because it's fun. It's kind of almost like, you know, when you're a child and you're writing your letter to Father Christmas, that's the kind of energy we want to drum up here, where it's just like, I'm going there because it's so much fun. It's like a, you know, a really good book that you can't put down and you're like, okay, I'm going to go there, but this is the story of my life and my new chapter, and it's super exciting, I can't get enough of it. That is when you are really onto something, and the universe is going to go all out at that point to speed things up, because you're aligning with that vibration more and more and more. And that is when you will begin to see the synchronicities. The sign that you've asked for will be everywhere and you'll be like, whoa, this is crazy incredible. So yeah, this is powerful stuff what we're discussing here. The fifth and final practice is appreciation. Now, this is a really good feel good, this is a really feel good practice, which it works really well in terms of not only making you feel good right now, but it will also help your manifestations that are coming towards you be even better. What do I mean by that? Okay, so if you have had a number of jobs in the past where, let's say, you've had bitchy colleagues, an unreasonable boss who drives you mad and makes you feel completely inferior, or something along those lines, and then you leave that job and you go to another job, after a while, have you noticed that there's a pattern where it might be different colleagues, but they've got the same level of bitchiness? Or the boss, it's like different face, different place, but it's like the same situation and the same pattern. This happens all the time, especially in people's love life. The relationships that they're used to experiencing just happen again, but in a different costume. And this is the law of attraction. So when you begin to appreciate where you are, not only are you blessing your past and your existing manifestations, as in what you're living and breathing and experiencing right now today, but you're also blessing your future and you're aligning with what it is that you want more of. So, just for the record, I'm selling this property now, because it's too small for me and my son, and he needs his own bedroom. But you know what? I love this property, and as easy as it is for me to sit here and say, oh, it's too small, and oh my god, I'm sick of coming upstairs all the time because it's an apartment, and I can't wait until we have a proper house with a garden and blah blah blah. I'm reminding myself all the time of why I fell in love with this place in the first instance, what it was that made me want to manifest this particular property, which I successfully did. So whether it's a new job that you're waiting on hearing news from right now, or it's a guy calling you back, or it's I don't know, getting a raise, a promotion, some kind of financial windfall, bless and appreciate what you currently have or what you have had in the past. So, in terms of a relationship, what really positive aspects have you experienced in your love life? What elements of those relationships would you like to keep? The ones that you want to get rid of, the details, let it go. Release it, let it go, and appreciate what you've had and what you do have right now. Because the more you appreciate, the more of those specific things will appreciate. Yeah, that's where it comes from. The whole idea of appreciation in terms of value, when people are talking about cars or whatever, when something appreciates or depreciates, that's where that comes from, is appreciate. What you appreciate appreciates in value, in quantity, in volume. That's the law of attraction. Yeah, so get out ahead of it now and see this time that you're waiting, whatever your circumstances, whatever you're waiting on, this is your time, this is your opportunity to trust the universe more with the practices that I've provided you with, and align and get to use Abraham Hicks's, one of her famous expressions is, get ready to be ready. Get ready to be ready for that new exciting manifestation to unfold, and use the time that you do have wisely to become more of that person that you want to be, so that as that manifestation is unfolding, with the signs that you're receiving, the visualizations that you're doing, the appreciating, all the time you're waiting on the universe to show you and display to you that path that's unfolding, you've got the time to be constantly kind of maneuvering it in a way that you want it to go. So a little more of this and a little bit less of that. Yeah, like a chef in a kitchen with loads of ingredients. This is your time now to really kind of step into it and make it your own, and make it an exciting, enjoyable experience. Because the more you're in that vibration, the more the manifestation is going to reflect that, and it's going to be in the best way possible. Because when we're working with divine intelligence, it's the divine intelligence that we want to allow to be in the driver's seat, right? Not us. Although we always think, yeah, I want to be in control. I want to know what's happening. I want to know what the outcome is now or yesterday. We don't really, not when it comes to stuff that is so important to us and that our hearts desire more than anything else. We don't know where our next breath is coming from, do we? We don't know if the sun is going to come up tomorrow, do we? Is this stuff we worry about? No, it's not. We trust that it's going to be there, and we're going to be okay. And these are things that we need to survive, but we never give it a second thought. There's so much happening that is pure evidence of how we're supported every second of every minute of every day. So I hope those 5 practices have helped. I know that this has been quite a lengthy video, but I did want to go into detail, and I wanted to give you very specific examples because I know how hard it is to live in a space of uncertainty where you're not quite sure what's going to happen, and anxiety and fear, it's a horrible energy to be in. So I sincerely hope that these practices help you. I know they've helped me, and if I can do it and I can turn that corner, then I know that you can too. If you would like to know what kind of a manifester you are, and you want to dig deeper with the law of attraction and really understand how to find your own personal sweet spot in manifesting the things that you want to show up in your life, then you will love my quiz below, because it will help you to understand what kind of a manifester you are. Are you a manifester who perhaps throws yourself into action and has a habit of taking over and running the show, and then just getting really exhausted and thinking, I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong, but nothing's happening? Or maybe you're really good at manifesting certain aspects of your life, like a job promotion or a financial windfall or getting a breakthrough of some kind. But then when it comes to romance, or when it comes to friendships or relationships in general, it's just hard work, and you don't quite know what to do, or how to sort of just be at peace with having reciprocal relationships, and ones that serve you and are harmonious to you and where you're going in life. Wherever you are on your manifesting journey, even if you're brand new and you're actually just wanting to experiment with all of this stuff and have some fun, check out my quiz below, fill out the answers, and you will get an email sent to you to help you understand and get clarity over what kind of manifesting you are currently doing, and where you can tweak it to perhaps see a lot more powerful shifts and a lot more of the stuff that you want to show up in your life actually turn up and be created. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, lots of love, take care, and I will speak with you again very soon.